And right now, the rainbow flag is flying over the state capitol for Pride Month. We'll show you how local communities are supporting the LGBTQ+ community.
COVID vaccination efforts will wrap up at the Alliant Energy Center soon.
And COVID hospitalizations are at their lowest levels now in more than a year. We're looking at the road to recovery.
This is News 3 Now at 5.
Let's raise that rainbow flag and celebrate all the joy, resiliency, and diversity of LGBTQ Wisconsinites. Happy Pride Month, Wisconsin.
For the third year, the Rainbow Pride flag will fly over the state capitol to celebrate Pride Month. Governor Evers, local leaders and advocates gathered today to raise the flag. The governor also signed 2 executive orders into law. One directs the governor's cabinet to use gender-neutral language. Another prevents people from using state and federal funds for conversion therapy. A Wisconsin 7th grader says raising the flag represents unity.
It's a step towards accepting people. And, you know, it's one step, but, you know, the more steps we have, the more closer we are to being more accepting of each other and not tearing each other apart over silly things.
The U.S. state flag and the POW/MIA flag will continue to fly as well.
A local community is also showing its support for Pride Month. Jamie Perez takes us to the village of Wanakee, where they unanimously agreed to fly the Pride flag this month.
A visual reminder is more powerful than just words.
I greatly support flying the Pride flag on municipality buildings in Wanakee.
A unanimous vote at its May 17th meeting was the first for the village of Wanakee, recognizing Pride Month and flying the Pride flag on 3 village buildings: the Village Center, Village Hall, and the Public Library.
Worked with the middle school and high school GSA to get their support to increase the chances of the resolution passing.
Board member Sam Kaufman introduced the resolution, something he came up with before he was elected this March. Kaufman says it's something the community has been asking for.
You know, my family's lived in this town for 6 generations, so I feel an obligation to do what I can to take care of it and make sure that we're doing the best we can to make sure our residents feel accepted.
Kaufman said there's a number of reasons why they want to show their support for the LGBTQ community this month, but particularly because there's been a number of discriminatory incidents that have happened in Wanakee over the past year.
Students yelling the N-word out of their vehicles, anti-Semitic letter being sent to a village board candidate. I think it's important, especially given our reputation that we've heard of as Whitekey. I think it's important that we go the extra mile to break that stigmatism, that we are striving to be an inclusive and accepting community, and this is one visible way that we can show that to the people of our community.
That history was backed up at the meeting by a local physician who says a number of LGBTQ patients he sees has increased recently.
I've been a practicing emergency physician for over 15 years. I've seen any number of LGBTQ patients who are struggling with mental health issues or addiction because they are feeling bullied, rejected, or not accepted for who they are. This is just a small step that we can do to make them feel more welcome in our community.
A sign of inclusiveness during a month that celebrates love, regardless of race, religion, color, creed, or sexual orientation. Something Kaufman said is just one step in the right direction.
It felt good that I did it. The feedback has been very positive.
For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
That resolution only applies for this year. Kaufman said he hopes that next year they'll introduce a permanent resolution so the Pride flag can be flown every June from here on out.
President Joe Biden took to Twitter to celebrate Pride Month. He says, quote, "Pride stands for courage, it stands for justice, and most of all, it stands for love. As we recall the trials of the LGBTQ+ community has endured and celebrate the trailblazers who have bravely fought for equality, let us recommit to the work that remains. Happy Pride Month."
A sunny Tuesday, and we're looking ahead to a big warm-up later this week. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the weather patio. Gary?
Susan, it is a great day out here. Temperatures in the middle 70s. There's lots of sunshine, but we will see a warm up, and we won't see much in the way of rain chances over the next 5 to 7 days. We take a look at visible cloud track. You can see lots of sunshine today, just a few cumulus clouds popping up, but very little in the way of precipitation. A couple sprinkles over central Wisconsin, and that's pretty much about it. So we're not expecting any rain, not only for today, but for tomorrow and probably through the weekend. Temperatures right now are in the middle 70s. A few places closer to 80 degrees, including Janesville, they're at 79. By tomorrow morning, our temperatures will drop off to about 53 here in Madison, but with that relatively dry air in place, our temperature should warm up pretty quickly. Look for a high temperature tomorrow of about 79 degrees, and then after that, our temperatures go up a few degrees each day, so that by the weekend, we're looking for high temperatures around 90. Humidity levels will increase, and we could be looking at the potential for heat index values between about 95 and 100 degrees toward the end of the weekend. I'll have more details in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. If you want to get your vaccine at the Alliant Energy Center, you better do it now. Public Health Madison-Dane County officials say they plan to end COVID testing and COVID vaccinations on June 30th. The Alliant Energy Center has served as a testing site since May of last year with the help of the National Guard and FEMA at different times. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says that space has been a huge advantage.
Our ability to utilize mass testing as we did was part of our overall strategy that enabled us to keep our numbers per capita of COVID infections some of the lowest in the country.
Public Health will be shifting efforts to some of its existing locations, including the South Madison testing site.
Not surprising, our vaccination rate is down after the 3-day weekend. In the past 24 hours, about 700 Wisconsinites got a shot. 42% of the state has completed the vaccine series. That's more than 2.4 million people. Almost 48% have had at least one shot. And in Dane County, 2/3 of people have had at least one shot. Almost 60% have completed their vaccine series.
Moderna is asking for full U.S. approval now of its COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer did the same thing a few weeks ago. Full approval could help alleviate some fears in people who are still hesitant to get the vaccine. More than 150 million Americans have received the Moderna vaccine. In all, about 40% of the U.S. population is now fully vaccinated.
Doctors, nurses, and hospital staff have been waiting for this moment for more than a year.
The Wisconsin Hospital Association's latest numbers put the number of people in the hospital 92% lower than the peak late last year. Gabriella Becerra joins us to explain what that drop looks like here in Dane County. Gabby?
Well, local doctors say you can see the downward trend of hospitalizations right here in Madison. And now the video on your screen is from last November when COVID hospitalizations were hitting their peak. More than 2,200 people were in the hospital across Wisconsin at that time. Local doctors say it looks different today. No more PPE shortages or turning hospital wings into COVID wards. UW Health's Dr. Nasia Softar hopes to see that number fall even further.
I would say it feels like a sea change. When we think back to the way things were during the surge, there were droves of patients coming in. They were very sick. They needed medical attention. Everyone was feeling, overwhelmed. There was a lot of tension in the air. And to not have that at this moment and to be able to just have things be as relatively calm as they are has just been a really welcome thing.
UW Health wasn't able to provide an exact number of COVID hospitalizations, but says the general trend is good. And coming up on News 3 now at 6, UW Health and SSM share what changes they made during the pandemic might stick around and what's going to go back to normal.
Gabby, thank you. Public Health's COVID emergency order ends tomorrow, which means mask orders and capacity limits will end too. Local movie theater chains are ready, and if this weekend's box office numbers were any indication, people are ready to return. Marcus Theater's manager Tom Reichelt says the chain welcomed its biggest crowd since last March, thanks to big openings like A Quiet Place Part 2 and Cruella. Although his theater is able to reopen to full capacity tomorrow, Tom says he's taking a slightly different approach.
We're making the decision to go to a 2-1-2 seating, meaning 2 seats, 1 space, 2 seats.
Tom says many theaters have the hard task of rebuilding consumer confidence. We'll explain what that means in terms of masks ahead at 6.
And a new study suggests masks and social distancing are still needed, even with vaccinations. Researchers at the University of North Carolina found COVID infections, hospitalizations, and deaths would continue to rise if precautions were lifted while vaccines were being rolled out. That study was published in the medical journal JAMA. Their mathematical model simulated COVID spread through 10 million people in North Carolina. The CDC said last month it was safe for fully vaccinated people to be unmasked in most social situations. Just a reminder, we'll be hosting a second vaccine clinic here at our News 3 Now studios and at William Lunny Lake Farm County Park on June 3rd. That's Thursday. We'll be offering second doses to anyone who received their first Pfizer doses at our May 13th clinic. We'll also have a supply of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and the Pfizer vaccine on hand. So if you want a shot, please join us. Our vaccine clinic will run from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m.
A man charged in a Madison homeless shelter shooting has been found not competent to stand trial. Court records show 23-year-old Ronald Stevens will be committed for treatment. Stevens is charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Stevens is accused of shooting a man multiple times at a temporary shelter on 1st Street in Madison back in March. A few days later, he turned himself in to Milwaukee police.
The Monona Police Department has a new chief, Brian Cheney Austin, sworn in this morning as the new police chief at the Monona Library. He spent the past 2 decades with the Madison Police Department. Austin says he hopes to have listening sessions to engage with the community.
We're in this for the right reason, and I saw this as an opportunity to step up, to provide a little leadership and guidance to an exceptional police department, and to a community that's looking for change.
Now, the chief says the Monona PD is currently hiring officers.
Multiple sources say former Badger All-American offensive lineman Chris McIntosh will be the University of Wisconsin's next athletic director. The UW system said the Wisconsin Board of Regents will meet in a closed session tomorrow to consider an employment agreement and compensation for a new athletic director, but they did not say who. 74-year-old Barry Alvarez announced he was stepping down in April. McIntosh has been his deputy AD since 2017. Alvarez's retirement takes effect the beginning of July. Chancellor Rebecca Blank said she hoped to hire someone by the end of June.
A local roofing company is doing something good for a local veteran. Wanakee Remodeling is installing a new roof for U.S. Army veteran Din DeLovos. It's part of the Owens Corning Roof Deployment Project, which is a nationwide effort to honor veterans who have served. In the past 5 years, more than 250 members of the military have received a new roof through the project.
Well, nothing says Wisconsin like a police chase ending with the help of a herd of cattle. The Barron County Sheriff's Office says a 13-mile chase ended overnight on a farm when the driver ran into a line of cows. You can see them surrounding the car there. Deputies took the driver into custody and made it clear no humans or animals were hurt. They thanked the Barron County Bovine Unit for their assistance on Facebook this morning.
That is Wisconsin. All right, today, President Biden, marking 100 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre, will share his plans to confront systemic racism. That's still ahead at 5. And it's been 4 years since the Didion Mill explosion that killed 5 people. OSHA fined the company, but our investigation found they still haven't paid. News 3 Now investigates ahead at 6. And on Wall Street today, mixed numbers on the first trading day of the week. The Dow up 46, the NASDAQ loses a dozen, S&P down 2. And we'll be right back.
When it comes to weather, only one thing really matters: accuracy.
Only one station can be the best.
News 3 Now. First Warn Weather has the most accurate forecast, according to Weather Rate.
Count on First Warn Weather for your most accurate forecast.
News 3 Now is partnering with the Madison School District to provide its high school seniors with special commencement ceremonies.
Join us for the Class of 2021 special commencement ceremony, streamed live on channel3000.com and Channel 3000 Plus, June 11th and 12th.
This is a Wisconsin brewmaster. He brews the local craft beer, the beer that washes down the Oktoberfest broth, the broth that pairs with the potato salad that befriends the burger that tastes like victory. Festival Foods. We are Wisconsin.
Incredible savings on Sealy mattresses during our big memorial sale now at Slumberland. Plus, come try any of our 8 memory foam queen mattresses, all for under $9.99. And get free shipping. The huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture ends Saturday.
A healthy mouth is the gateway to a healthy body. That's why we designed Quip electric toothbrushes for adults and kids, toothpaste, and refillable floss that keep you healthy. Quip's simple features help guide a better oral care routine, with refills delivered every 3 months from $5. And if you want more bang for your brush, make it smart to get rewards as you track and coach better brushing. Make better oral health simple, affordable, and enjoyable at getquip.com.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, there's a medicine specifically made for heart failure, Entresto. It's a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
News 3 Now is partnering with the Madison School District to provide its high school seniors with special commencement ceremonies.
Join us for the Class of 2021 special commencement ceremony, streamed live on channel3000.com and Channel 3000 Plus, June 11th and 12th.
Tonight at 6, COVID hospitalizations in Wisconsin are the lowest they've been since the beginning of the pandemic. And for the third consecutive year, the Pride flag is now flying above the state capitol building. How Pride Month is being recognized at 6.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti here. If your TV or internet goes out during severe weather, the Midland Weather Radio can be the extra measure of safety you and your family need. Pick up the Midland Weather Radio, available now at area Hy-Vee grocery stores.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We continue to follow a developing story out of California where a firefighter was killed in a shooting at a fire station. That shooting happened this morning in Agua Dulce. It's about 30 miles north of downtown L.A. A second firefighter was also hurt. Police believe the suspect is a disgruntled employee. They say the suspect went to a house after the shooting. That house then caught fire, and a body with a possible self-inflicted gunshot wound was found in the yard. A SWAT team was called to the scene of that house fire.
President Biden traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma today to mark 100 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre. The violence erupted after a black man was accused of assaulting a white woman. A white mob killed and injured hundreds of black residents in the thriving business district known as Black Wall Street. Thousands of others were forced into internment camps. The mob looted and burned the Greenwood district, destroying more than 1,200 homes and businesses. President Biden is meeting privately with survivors, all of whom are more than 100 years old.
Some injustices are so heinous, so horrific, so grievous, they can't be buried, no matter how hard people try.
The president is also touring the Greenwood Cultural Center, outlining plans to confront systemic racism, narrow the wealth gap between blacks and whites, and help communities of color across the country by reinvesting in underserved communities.
A volcano in Iceland is putting on a spectacular show, but one spectator made an expensive mistake by getting too close. Chicago YouTuber Joey Helms was trying to get a bird's eye view of Iceland's latest volcano. You can see his drone navigating a river of lava. Well, until it didn't. Helms says these types of drones give a first-person view, but they are notorious for crashing. There's that river of lava. He says it's just part of the hobby. Now, the last time this volcano, I think it's getting a little too close right there. The last time that volcano spewed lava was back 800 years ago.
A teenager in California is a real-life superhero fighting off a bear to save her dogs. If you're not looking at your screen right now, you've got to turn around. You can see her dogs barking like crazy, and for good reason. There's a giant bear on the wall of that home trying to claw them. The teenage girl rushes in to help and shoves the bear off the wall. She then grabs the dogs and runs away. In just the last 24 hours, this video has received more than 15 million views on TikTok alone. Thank goodness that had a happy ending, yeah. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti.
Nothing quite so dramatic here in weather. In fact, we're looking for rain, and there's none really to be found across southern Wisconsin. You have to look at the very top of the map. A couple of showers moving toward the Fox Valley again, but Everything is just kind of bypassing southern Wisconsin. You can see a little wider radar view, those showers over here, a couple of sprinkles and a couple of thunderstorms out across South Dakota. That's about the nearest rain of any consequence. Over the Memorial Day weekend, you can see there was some rain, especially over northeastern Wisconsin, 1 to 2 inches for areas north and west of Green Bay. But you get south of the Fox Valley and south of, say, Toma and just south of La Crosse, the rest of the southern part of the state pretty much missed out on the rain. And then to the south, there was some light rain across parts of Illinois and southern Iowa. So again, we're kind of in between things. Taking a look at the future track computer models, and this is a 10-day forecast all the way out through early Friday morning of next week. This is what the computer models are showing, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain over southern Wisconsin. Now, during that normal time period, we would be expecting about 1.5 inches of rain. We get about 1 inch of rain per week this time of year. So that means we're going to continue that drought deficit. We're already, since the start of March, our precipitation is down over 5 inches, and that will probably add another inch to that deficit if that forecast holds out to be true. So we need to find some rain here. And of course, the drought monitor showing moderate drought conditions through much of southern and eastern Wisconsin, abnormally dry conditions now expanding into parts of northwestern Wisconsin, severe drought conditions over far southeastern Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois, as well as northwestern Iowa, and then exceptional to extreme drought conditions over North Dakota. So the areas that are dry keep getting drier, and the areas that could use the rain just aren't getting it for whatever reason. Warm conditions, though, are in the forecast. Will be near 80 degrees tomorrow, and then probably in the lower to middle 80s for Thursday. Then it gets even warmer. Look for hot conditions with high temperatures near or above 90 degrees for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of next week. Humidity levels start to increase by the end of the weekend and early next week. That could lead to some chances for thunderstorms, but the key word here, chances. Some areas could get some heavy downpours. Other areas may miss out on the rain altogether. If we take a look at weather track out in the Pacific Ocean, a lot of times we look out to the west to see if there's an overall change in the weather pattern. Well, one big storm system heading up toward the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, but from there across the Pacific Ocean, this weather system heading up into Canada, another weather system east of the Hawaiian Islands staying to the south. Very little in the way of any active weather out to the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That means we're going to stay in a quiet weather pattern, and that doesn't bode well for rain. Most of the rain has been through the southern part of the United States, the jet stream coming in from the southwest, but it's just to our south, the subtropical jet stream. The polar jet stream shifting to the north, actually allowing warmer weather to move into the northern part of the United States. When you're in that split flow situation, you don't have everything lining up to get better chances for rain here. So as we zoom into the Midwest, you can see mild conditions with plenty of sunshine here. Temperatures, for the most part, in the upper 70s to the lower 80s. The cooler weather is actually to the south, where there's cloud cover and some rain across parts of Missouri down into Arkansas and Oklahoma. Some of those areas under flash flood watches. So there's too much rain or not enough rain, depending on which part of the Midwest you're in. And you can see the dew point temperature is definitely higher to the south, but those dew points in the 40s means that the air is pretty dry here. And as we look at future track, you can see very little in the way of rain chances over the next couple of days. Everything either staying to the north or to the south of us. And at this point, it looks like if we see a shower, it's going to be few and far between. The better chances for rain will wait until next week. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 79 degrees with partly sunny skies. Some areas will probably top out near 80 degrees. And the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for that warming trend. 83 Thursday, 89 Friday, and around 90 for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Humidity levels early next week start to increase. That will lead to chances for showers and thunderstorms, but also plenty of dry hours in there, and the precipitation when it occurs will be kind of spotty. As we check out first warn traffic, things pretty quiet on the roads other than the little delays through the construction zone on the Beltline. The delays right now mainly in the westbound Beltline between Todd Drive and Fish Hatchery Road. Right now, a little bit of an elevated time on the travel on the westbound Beltline between Interstate and University Avenue. Eastbound Beltline moving along at a pretty good clip. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. From US 12 from Middle to Sauk City is a 16-minute commute. Downtown to Sun Prairie, East Washington Avenue and US 151 will take you 17 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. The U.S. Surgeon General says the country must address now another epidemic. This one has nothing to do with a virus. What it is and why it can still be deadly. That's next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Stop into Menards today, your plumbing headquarters. Keep your basement dry with a Barracuda sump pump. They're built to last and dependable. Save today with 11% off all Barracuda pumps. Get a reliable hose from Yardworks. They're easy to set up and perfect for keeping your lawn and garden growing. Right now, get 11% off on all Yardworks hoses and accessories. Start your next project and get 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
The story of Scott the Window Guy starts with the crack of a bat and a broken window. Little did I know, Mom actually wanted her windows replaced. I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. For the past 50 years, we've been replacing windows in Wisconsin with a 50-year warranty and a 10-year glass breakage guarantee to protect you
from kids like me.
Get free installation on any door or window purchase at scottthewindowguy.com.
Hey, sandwich fan, new Denny's melts belong in your hand. Patty melt's a classic, the Big Dipper's fantastic, and the Nashville hot chicken, bombastic? 4 melts in all, grilled to please. Now with free delivery. See you at Denny's.com.
Mom's gonna kill us.
Gorilla Super Glues. Of course.
Gorilla has a fix for every project. Original brush and nozzle and ultra-controlled gel for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Ready to blow away the rules of volume? New Air Volume Mega Mascara by L'Oréal Paris. For mega volume, yet mega light. A whipped formula and a cushiony brush. New Air Volume Mega Mascara by L'Oréal Paris. You're worth it.
Our new scented oils give you our best smelling scents, now crafted with more natural ingredients and infused with essential oils that are 100% natural. Give us one plug and connect to nature.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
As Americans emerge from the pandemic isolation, the U.S. Surgeon General says there's another epidemic we now must address, and that's loneliness.
Mandy Gaither has more on how it affects our mental and physical health.
From the pandemic to xenophobia and racial injustice, the past year has been hard on many.
Trauma, whether it's physical trauma or emotional trauma, has an impact on our overall health.
As more Americans emerge from isolation, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy says we need to address a new epidemic, loneliness.
You may have been discriminated against based on the color of your skin or based on the fact that you have a name that sounds different from others, or maybe that you have an accent that sounds a bit different. Those moments are, are moments where we tell people that they don't belong. And that has a very powerful effect, on our cohesion as communities, as an impact on people's mental health.
Everyone has a different response to trauma. Dr. Murthy says some reach out, others isolate.
That loneliness is that it's linked to not only increases in depression and anxiety, but to shorter lifespans, to an increase in premature death, to increased incidence of dementia, to sleep disturbances, and so many other conditions.
But Dr. Murthy says it's our relationships with others that have the power to heal.
We are all healers in that respect. And this is a time, I think, when deep healing is needed. And if we can get people to see themselves as agents of that healing through the power of their relationship, then I think we have a good shot, really, at addressing some of the deep trauma that so many people have experienced in our country.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And as Surgeon General, Dr. Murthy has made addressing the adverse health effects of loneliness a key feature of his agenda as the world emerges from a period of isolation.
And stay with us for a final check of your First Warn forecast in just a moment.
If your dry eye symptoms keep coming back, inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Looks like a great day for achy, burning eyes.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Ha! These drops probably won't touch me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief.
Oh.
Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye, twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Talk to an eye doctor about twice daily Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just 1 visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-315-6748 or go to sonobello.com.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Time you fake wearing your seatbelt, remember this. Cops have been trained to spot seatbelt violations even at night. And they don't give out fake tickets. Day or night, click it or ticket.
Join me virtually June 23rd as we live stream the American Cancer Society's 14th annual Coaches vs. Cancer Wisconsin Gala on the rooftop of Monona Terrace. Join Bo Ryan and others as we celebrate our fan of the year, Rob Andringa, and his family. For more details, go to coachesversuscancerwisconsin.org.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, a deadly Memorial Day weekend in America as shootings surge from coast to coast. We'll bring you the latest on a firehouse shooting tonight in California. Plus, after the world's largest meat producer is hacked, what does it mean for your grocery bill? And taps across America, how thousands of you answered our Memorial Day call to duty. That's all tonight right here on the CBS Evening News.
A 3-year-old girl going viral for what might be the saddest yet smartest birthday cake ever.
Leona Faye asked for a special birthday cake showing the moment that Mufasa dies in The Lion King. You know that moment that's been ripping hearts out since the mid-90s? Well, here's the smart part. She said that way everyone will be so sad they won't want to eat the cake. And she'd have it all for herself. Leona already has plans for the cake for her 4th birthday. She's thinking Cinderella, but wants to make sure that the evil stepmother is included in the design.
She is crafty, isn't she? And she really likes cake. Well, let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Well, right now, just a few clouds out there. It's actually pretty nice, but we could use the rain, and there's none of that showing up on radar. You can see on temperatures, mid-70s right now, Boscoville close to 80, La Crosse at 82, Janesville 79. Look for a low tonight of about 53, high tomorrow near 80 here in Madison. Low 80s Thursday, upper 80s to near 90 for the weekend into next week. Maybe some thunderstorm chances next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. We're back in 30 minutes. For News 3 now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.